negativity is stronger than positivity. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that in terms of family dysfunction, dysfunctional families, and world negativity, as in Illuminati type of scenario. Like, what I want to say here, I want to focus more on family dysfunction. You see, I speak this from my own experience. In my family, there has been certain family karma for around 100 or 50 some years, I don't even know fully. And when you have, this dysfunction can only happen with stupid people. If people are wise, there is no dysfunction. That's how it is. And which means, that my ancestors 100 years ago were a bunch of stupid people because they managed to create this family curse, this family karma, and it ruined so many lives. It ruined my life. Stupid people at some point start certain dysfunction, and the dysfunction, passes on from generation to generation to generation and so on, and then my parents, passed on that shit to me as well. And I have a choice, I can either continue this shit or I can break it. And of course I'm going to break it, I have zero interest. I've never had any interest in participating in my family crap. So I'd rather die, to continue family crap. So that ain't happening with me. So kids, if they come, through me, they will not be dealing with the dysfunction that I've been dealing it for my whole life. So that's not so. Hang on. So when the dysfunction, is passes on from generations to generations, there's a lot of momentum, that goes on into that whole dysfunction, illusory thinking, mindsets, and all that crap, and all the pain and the suffering. There's a lot of momentum to that, and this is like it's like basis. It's like for the house has certain foundations, and the foundations can be firm, strong, so the house stands forever, or they can be rotten foundations, shaky foundations that whenever it is that happens, a leaf comes onto the house almost shatters, but it doesn't shatter because things just, even though they're rotten core, things dysfunctionally function, they still function, but it's always, the house is always about to shatter and break, but because things that need to be done are done, the dysfunction continues, the house stays, and it's like this sort of self-preserving system. Only if you do the things that are necessary, the house will stand, and if you stop doing that, the house will shatter completely. So that's that's a dysfunctional house. If it's non-dysfunctional house stands on its own, no problems, no nothing, strong, firm, clean foundations and all that. And this analogy goes also to the foundations in your head, because that's how you have to do it. You have to break the cycle, the karma, this crap. You have to break it within you, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, all that. You have to break it within you, and when you break it, you have then solid foundations within you, and from that place on, you can build things, build your life out of that. And there's a saying from so many spiritual people, teachers, and I think that's most likely from Muji. Don't build your house outside of nirvana. So what does that mean? It means that if you're a delusional individual, do not create your own life. Don't create families, man. Don't create anything, because if you create out of that lost space, out of dysfunctional place within, you're going to build a lot of dysfunction. And that's going to bring up, a lot of chaos and pain. And I know that because I've experienced that. My father has created that kind of family. And, I swore to myself when I was younger to never create a family like that. And because, I've chose non-dysfunction, but then, shit, karma got me too. The karma that I didn't even create. And as a result, I have no family. I have nothing. Which is better than having something in dysfunction, It's much better. That's why I have nothing and no one. And of course, it got extremely isolating a long time ago, because, everyone wants to have something, you have the need to have family and a partner and all that. I have nothing, and that's good. Even though it's painful, it's a good thing, in dysfunctional environments to have nothing, because it's just better, It's better. If I'm, destroyed, so be it, but I don't have a family or nothing, so it's only me that gets destroyed, not my whole family. And that's, I don't even deserve to be destroyed, I deserve good and happiness and all that as well. But, if I have to be destroyed, then, I'd rather be destroyed than to have my whole family destroyed. The family that I create, not the family that I was born in, who cares about that? Yeah. So my father has created this kind of dysfunctional house with shaky foundations, and it's literally like in one cartoon, Pot and Mud, when you have a house that it's shaking all the time, and it's like, wind blows too hard, and the house almost shatters, but it always managed to stay. And it's like you remove one stone out of that and the whole house collapses, or a leaf falls onto the house and the whole house collapses. That's my father's foundations in my family. So my family is based on nothing, on being lost in confusion and bunch of shit, And of course that kind of family is a dysfunctional family, and it brings a shitload of chaos, and of course that kind of family does not work. But, then you have cycle breakers from family, which would happen to be me. And you get this weirdness that I've been putting out, on these videos. Someone who's different, someone who's the exact opposite from the family, and there's a lot of suffering around that. So, dysfunction, they are dysfunctional foundations still. People, because, you have this dysfunction, family dysfunction, and then you have new souls that come into the family, and it's like, they get swallowed by this dysfunction that was there, built, 50 some years ago before them. And it's like, people have been living in dysfunction for their whole lives, and then they have kids, and the kids get screwed up because of that dysfunction. So you see something, this type of force, something, they didn't create. They come to this world, pure, innocent, all of those, good stuff, and then this shit swallows them. They didn't even create, and it destroys their life. Now that's not fair now, is it? No, it's not, man. I've seen many people experience that. I have experienced this thing as well. And that's not fair, man. How is that cool? And that can only happen if you're born in a family of stupid people. There is no way, man. Stupid people will bring a shit ton of shit in your life. They're going to destroy you completely. And people live in dysfunction and then create children, and then children get swallowed by that dysfunction. And what I want to say here is, that how negativity is stronger than positivity. That's from my experience. We have this family karma, and this dysfunction has been a long time dysfunction. A lot of momentum was put into that. And then you have someone, like me, who comes a cycle breaker, someone who is destroying family karma, family dysfunction, doesn't want to be part of it, deliberately, does things differently, or just, it's in his nature to do things differently, doesn't give a shit about family's dysfunction, doesn't want to be part of it, wants a different path, wants better, and, doesn't care about dysfunctional things in this whole world, country. And I've tried a lot to. There's a cat. Hey, can you see him? Wait, I'm pretty sure you can see him. He's a funny cat. I've tried, when I was through high school and college, I tried to destroy family karma. But it was sort of, it was only a matter of time before something happens to me. And what I also, think, and I don't think that's 100%, but because dysfunction in the family has been going on for so long, you don't have much chances, of breaking that dysfunction. And it's not, that's not 100% true. You can still manage to break the dysfunction forever, but there's a lot of challenges that you have to go through. You have to put up with certain things that it's going to be a lot, and you're going to have to, deal with things that, how do I say this? Like a certain point, like, you would want for the dysfunction to go away completely, but still, something will always continue, and it's going to take so many years and patience, and you're suffering the things that you don't want to suffer and all that. There's a lot of endurance, a lot of painful endurance that comes with breaking family dysfunction. It takes a long time, to break it. And I guess somewhat in my case, it's something that will waste my 20s, apparently, which I don't like. But what I want to say is that when negativity is stronger than positivity, is this thing, the dysfunction is stronger than you. And when you try to destroy family's dysfunction, it's a high chance that you will not succeed. Why? Because, there's a lot of momentum, 50, 100 years, whatever, momentum of dysfunction. And even if you try to break it, you're going to break some of it, but maybe you'll never break it fully. Because why? Because the dysfunction is stronger than you, unfortunately. It's only a matter of time before, the dysfunction swallows you. Sort of. You have to fight the dysfunction for as long as you don't have to fight it anymore. And you can allow for the dysfunction to swallow you. You can allow that too as well. If you're not strong enough, to fight anymore, which happens. But, this is not, 100% true, I would say. You can break the dysfunction completely. It just it's a very, very challenging growth. And it takes a long time. But then, on the other hand, you might not ever break that dysfunction because dysfunction is stronger than you. And if you try to break it, eventually, the dysfunction will win. And as a result, you're going to have a crappy life because of that dysfunction. That's what happened to me. I've tried to break the dysfunction, but I failed. And it's not 100% my fault. It's this karma stuff. You see now, this karma stuff, the dysfunction family, I didn't create. It was not me. It really wasn't me. There was my ancestors, 100 years ago. And the crap passed on, and generations to generations came to me. And that karma, destroyed my life. Destroyed my younger years. And apparently, destroyed my 20s as well. You see, that's not my fault completely. That's karma, family karma. I can thank my ancestors for the shit they passed on to me. So you see, my ancestors were a bunch of idiots, stupid people. And they created the karma. I did not create it. And then, me as a pure soul got born into this family, and the karma swallowed me. And it ruined my life now. And as a result, I'm miserable all the time. I live with certain pains every day. Now, on the outside, it might look to people like, nothing happens. But no, man, this karma destroyed me. And my life sucks every day because of that. And I'm not the only one, I have relatives in Croatia on my father's side. And there's one guy, my cold cousin or something, he died because of that dysfunction. So you see, and he didn't deserve it. Again, see, another soul came to dysfunctional family, karma eventually killed him. He actually died, he's not here on this earth anymore. So I'm not the only one. This karma, there's a lot of people in my family, this karma destroyed us. So this is real stuff, this is real shit. This is not just, something. This thing works, man. This dysfunctional karma, this works, man. Curses work. They passed on for such a long time. And it ruined my life as well. So, because of this karma, my life sucks every day. Has been suck. The last time I was actually genuinely happy, it was in 2019. Now, right now that I'm recording this in 2025. That's 6 years. More than 6 years is the last time that I was actually happy. And yeah, karma destroyed my life, man. That I didn't even create. So you see, something you don't create destroys your life. Now how's that fair? It's not. It really isn't. These karmas aren't fair. So I don't know, man. There's a way, most likely to get rid of them forever. But I'm also afraid, that might not happen. So I don't know. I just wanted to say this. In this case, negativity is stronger than positivity. And it goes for the Illuminati as well. When you have useful people in this world who try to fix the world, you're going to have dark forces, Illuminati, that are going to kill them. Example, Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla wanted to do something that we would have free energy, free electricity, but no, I think the guy was JP Morgan. He was Illuminati, he wanted more money, and he eventually shut down Nikola Tesla, because if we would have free electricity companies wouldn't have money. They would go out of business. So you see, and Illuminati is this machine that's about, greed, apparently. Wants more money, doesn't want things to be simpler. And that's why, they get killed. And there's so many examples, so I'm not going to list. So many examples how Illuminati kill bright spots, people with light. And in that case, negativity is stronger than positivity, because there's a lot of momentum that's been going on with negativity. And then when a positive being comes, it's only almost, matter of time before the negativity swallows you and you're sort of done, I suppose. So there's that. This is true, In this case, negativity is stronger than positivity, but in other case, positivity is stronger than negativity. But the thing is, with positivity within you, it's like a garden. You have to put good seeds in it, nurture the seeds, positive thinkings. And you have to practice positivity, and eventually, after you water and, take care of this as a garden, and you get rid of weeds is negative thoughts, eventually, as you do that, positivity outgrows negativity, and you don't have to fight anymore. Positivity has risen, and negativity will never catch up. That's another way. Positivity is stronger than negativity in this kind of way. But with this kind of positivity, it takes time to build up. Again, you have to build up the momentum. It takes years, But it can be done. It takes years, and it destroys the negativity. So yeah, that's it. This is true. What I'm saying right here, it is true. Yeah, that's it.